everyone, Skillsy Shooter here. Welcome to episode 35 of the QuadFeed podcast. We are Ron short this week, unfortunately. He had something to do. I think he might be doing the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge. Don't quote me on that, because that's where I've got a bone to pick with everyone else on this panel. But we will say hello to them first before I unleash the bowels of hell onto you all. Hello, Ben.
G'day, how's it going?
I'm alright, mate. You actually did text me back saying, thanks, mate.
I did.
You did.
I'll be honest, when I got the notification, I was like, worst case of piss ass you've ever had in your life. And I was just like, not feeling well at all. And I just got the notification, saw it, and I was like, fuck you, Gavin. Fuck you. That's why I didn't reply for like 2 days.
You know what, though? It probably would have been the most creative, and we'll get to it because there's actually a topic in that later in the show anyway. But, yeah, I mean, everyone's trying to up the ante and make things a little bit more creative. Yours would have been creative had you sort of simultaneously shat yourself whilst dunking your head over with a bucket of ice water. But, okay, you'll get a pass, but I'm just glad you donated $1,000 to the charity, which I know you did.
Which will put a proof.
Yeah, I didn't actually do it to ALS. I'm sorting it out with like Crohn's and colitis Australia, because someone very close to me has Crohn's disease, and I would feel awful to not donate to that as well. So I did it to Crohn's disease.
And I think, I mean, in terms of localization, ALS kind of gets a bit of a question mark, but when you realise it's motor neurons disease, it's like, oh, hang on, we just call it something different in Australia.
That's
Of which a friend of ours died from it about 10 years ago. Yeah. Wow, let's bring the tone down from the second minute. Hello, Chris. How are you, mate?
How are you?
All right. Looking front and centre, not whispering in Ben's ear this week. It's getting more centralised to the new haircut, I see. Had a bit of a...
Yeah, I was just going to say, rocking a new haircut.
That's it, man. Looking swag. Swag, son.
Decided to look a little bit more professional. Also got a bit of a shave there.
That's it. You should go to my barber, mate. He cuts it with a laser. He needs planning permission to craft this shit. What's Chris been up to this week? No gastrointestinal issues?
No, not for me.
Not for you? Good. Okay.
Been living it
up. I realise
up.
that's a weird question to sort of lead with on a gaming podcast, but thought we'd try and keep the theme as good as possible.
Well, that's funny. Did Ben test out any mobile games while he was stuck to the toilet? Do we have any reviews?
Well, funnily enough, I do want to pick his brain on the crew, which I haven't actually had the chance to play just yet, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah, I've been playing Tiny Tower Vegas.
Let me put you on the main screen. Fun. What's that one, Charles?
It's I just screen. Anyway, you'll recognise it. It's kind of like Tiny Tower.
Oh yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The new one, the Vegas one. Yeah. Because I played that one like when it first came out, like holy shit, like constantly, to the point where I just got completely sick of it. I didn't want to look at it. And then the Star Wars Tiny Tower came out, and I was like, I can't deal with Tiny Tower anymore, but it's Star Wars. So I got that one, and it was like, they did it so well. Like, I wish I played that one first. And then that was ages ago, and I stopped playing that after like an hour. But this one's been fun. True story.
So conflicted.
Oh, I'm sure I'll get sick of it by tomorrow, but yeah.
Yeah. Those mobile games, you got to give credit to the ones that, do capture your attention for anything more than 12.8 minutes.
Yeah. That's also like,
real stats.
Swingcopters. I also got into that this week too. Fucking hate it. High score of 2.
Is it the one that looks like Flappy Bird? Kind of.
Same person, yeah.
Oh, same person.
Something. Yeah, I can't remember his first name, but something Ewan. Yeah. So he made this one, same style, just instead of going this way, you're going this way.
God.
So, yeah.
Exploring that vertical dimension like a boss.
Oh boy, he revolutionized vertical and
You've gone along the
that
x-axis.
axis change.
Now prepare yourself for the Y.
Nice.
Our next game will be X and Y. Yeah. Although I'm pretty sure he's probably getting sick of earning 40k a day.
Yeah.
Which, if any of those reports were, had any sort of truth to them, that's apparently what he was earning through advertising. I don't know. I don't know.
That'd be awesome. I wish I could do that. I think we need to invent ourselves a game.
Let's call it What's Ron Up To Today. It can be kind of like Cards. Was it Cards Against Humanity or something? Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah. I still haven't played that. Well,
So-
when you buy your place, we'll come over for a dinner party. We'll play that.
That's it. Yeah. With questions like, Ron says he's at a leaving do tonight. Where is he really?
Strip club.
The
Blank,
sheep.
blank, 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 blank. Let's see what he's up to. Yes, episode 35, edging ever closer to that number 50. You can find us on youtube.com/skillsyshooter, which is probably where you're watching this right now, obviously. Podbean, quadfeed.podbean.com, and also Stitcher Radio as well. So be sure to go there if you watch it on YouTube, which you are if you're seeing me do this. Do this down below. Give it a like. Topics. Let's get cracking. Yeah, well, in kind of the theme of the whole ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, have you heard the number that it's currently at?
The amount
Money
raised.
Yeah.
Is it 50 million? 40 million? 50
48.
million?
100 million.
Yeah.
100? What?
48 million.
100 million?
pounds. I mean, what that
Oh.
converts to, I think it was like 63,000 euros. And yeah.
It's interesting as well because, see, my girlfriend, she got nominated today for it too. But she's just like, well, I'll donate money and I'll also, donate blood as well because she donates blood like all the time. She's crazy.
That's very nice.
Like I've seen like a bank statement and it's like this month gets deducted per month for this charity, this amount for this charity. Like it's ridiculous. And
And then like a
what was I gonna
milliliter,
say?
a milliliter
charity,
amount for
yeah.
how much blood she's donated that month.
yeah.
16 mils.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. But she told me today that there's only like in the US, there's only a small amount of actually people which actually have it. I'm not saying that then it's not worthy, but I was for something which has generated so much publicity and hype and raised so much money. I thought there was like heaps of people with it, but it was like only like I think it was only like still under like 100,000 people that had it
In the
in
nation
the US.
I think
Yeah.
it was something where
of 300 million.
it just doesn't have a cure or any type
Yeah.
of big
And I'm pretty-
dollar sponsors coming in because it's not very well known.
Yeah, and the US has more than 300 million.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm saying as a
population.
baseline, yeah, 300 mil.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, for every bucket challenge video you see, there's an article like every, and you've got that person on Facebook. It's kind of like
Yeah, you got that person.
you got that person who puts it there saying, "Do you really know what you're contributing to?" And all we're doing is lining the pockets and buying another Maserati for the ALS Foundation board members or some bullshit. And it's kind of like, well,
But that's the thing. Everyone was sharing the 2012 financial summary of the charity, which is 2 years out of date, but still quite relevant in a way. And they showed how much actually went to research, and everyone's going, look, only like 5% goes to research. But then it's also like another marketing thing where, for the first year or 2 years, you basically publicize the shit out of it. So instead of making $500 this year in charity, next year you make $10,000 sort of thing. So you need to promote it the first couple of years so everyone knows about it. So then next year when it comes around, everyone already knows about it. More people are going to be doing it and more people will donate money. So it's kind of like, would you rather $500 now or in a year's time or 2 years' time, would you rather $10,000? It's one of those things. But yeah, it's hard because you see the facts in black and white and you're like, wow, all this money donated and only like 5% of it is going towards charity. And that, rubs people up the wrong way, which Don't blame them.
Would you, would you rather 5% of 48 mil, or 5%?
5% of $10,000.
A much lesser number anyway.
Yeah. But that's the thing as well. In time to come, it will be more than 5% that goes towards charity because they won't need that other, $45 million in the future or whatever to promote it. They'll use only, a couple of million or 10 million or something like that. I don't know. And then the rest will go towards, charity. So,
and let's not forget, I mean, in true sort of internet meme / trend fashion, I mean, this isn't going to be something that's going to be done every day for, from now until whenever. I mean, yes, it's bringing the awareness into the public eye of this condition and whatnot. But as far as get in, strike while the iron is hot kind of thing. Get your money now. I think Chris's head just exploded just then.
Yeah.
He sneezed into the mic, but
sorry,
courteous. He muted as well. What a guy. It's like, get your money now and let's be done with it kind of thing. So, yeah, I mean, props to him. I did it. I got wet on my balcony. I got wet from my balcony was actually partially flooded at the time as well. So standing in probably that much water.
And in Sydney, if you're being inside,
don't get it twisted.
Whole time.
It's not like all sunshine and beaches and bikini fat people all the time.
For the past 3 weeks, and he's been pissing down non-stop. Today was the first bit of sun. And I got out of the house like straight away. I washed the car, even though it's going to rain tomorrow, but there was just like a thin layer of like black dust all over it, and I can't stand it, so I had to wash my car. And then
it's going to be nice.
I went into the.
It's going to be
I know it's raining. I know it's raining in the next day. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But just today, I was like, got to get out, and so went to like the city, went for like a walk with like the girlfriend, all that sort of stuff. So just had to get out and get in the sun. Oh really?
Yeah.
I was in Circular Quay. Were you doing the march today, were you?
No. Far more selfish reasons than that. No, my phone actually happened to be in the serial number range of the ones that were eligible for a recall. So he did a diagnostic on my iPhone, and it's like, ooh, like comes up with this grid, and like the bottom left-hand corner was completely red, as it like the whole thing had just died.
Was that just from the sites that you visit?
No, it wasn't it wasn't sort of an indication of anything I'm doing badly on my phone. It was battery health basically. So it was like,
okay.
2 out of the 4 zones were green with a slight tinge of yellow. One was kind of a bit yellowy, and then the bottom left-hand corner where the actual marker was completely red, like you just shot it in the face. So it's like, okay, well, I'll be taking this. Have you backed it up recently? Yes, I have. Let's change the battery out. But then Sophie had it done last week, and it took her an hour. For me, 3 hours. So then I had to go back to Broadway, which is where Sophie was.
The Broadway Apple Store? You talking about that one?
No, that's the thing. I actually went to their Apple Store and I said, look, I've got an appointment at George Street. Can I change it to here if you've got any open spots? Because all I need is a battery replacement. She goes, we don't have any batteries left.
No, they're fucking hopeless there. They are so bad there. When you said I was going to take 3 hours and you said the Broadway, I was like, yeah, that makes sense because the Broadway one is shocking, but turns out they didn't have any fucking batteries. So, yeah. Who has batteries for the latest fucking phone?
Yeah,
anyway,
of which you've just issued a recall, and you'll have more foot traffic and more people coming in for replacements. No.
They're so bad though.
Yeah. George Street, I mean, I'm having trouble figuring out what I think is probably a worse system, either the public health system or the Genius Bar appointment setting situation at the Genius Bar.
Genius. Yeah.
Have you tried turning it off and on again? Yeah, I have, fuckstick. Twice. Yeah. I wasn't. I was in the city basically killing 3 hours worth of time and then doing food shopping and then going back.
Funny. I was down at Hart's pub, so I was not that far. I was like 5 minutes from you.
What's this march? Was it the Abbott March or something?
Yeah, they got fucking one every month. God. I saw the funniest photo. Someone legitimately was wearing a tinfoil hat. and I just fucking lost it. Like, you've heard the term, put your tinfoil hat on, all that sort of shit, because
theorist,
they're trying to read your brainwaves and that sort of shit.
Yep.
And I saw a photo, they're on the stairs holding up these fucking signs, and one of them, like, they were saying, like, the chemtrails, and I know about chemtrails, I know about this, I know about that, and had a tinfoil hat on, and I was, like, just in tears. And
it's like, if the Abbott government doesn't get you, the aliens will.
Yeah, and a side little plug for some friends of mine, if you ever want some, good politics satire, just head to circlejerkaustralia.com, and we on Reddit, we do a lot of work with that sort of stuff, and the shit we come up with is fucking hilarious. So go
Does it
check
require
that out,
any
folks.
sort of political knowledge whatsoever?
No.
Good.
It's...
It seems like the government
Oh,
don't have
just-
any sort of political knowledge in it's their job as well. But
Yeah. If anyway, but fuck, we come up with the funniest shit ever. So go check that shit out, or join us at Reddit. Circle Jerk Australia.
yeah, I need to get more on Reddit. I need to find
we have
myself
so
a
much
nice
fun.
little hub of topics that I can go on a daily basis. But it's just distracting.
Oh,
Last thing I need to do.
my uni productivity has plummeted. Like, my first year of uni, which was fucking ages ago now, I didn't know about it. Now I'm the mod of, like, all these other subreddits and massive contributor, and I just spend way too much time on it now, and it's the worst, but I fucking love it. It's the best. Anyway.
Yeah, I'd love to see some sort of histogram of like productivity to YouTube
Oh.
interaction and where the lines meet, and see if anything could be gathered from that information. So, how about we talk about something, I don't know, gaming related?
Gaming related. First thing, couple of things with EA. Our good friends at EA. They, for starters, Sims 4, there's not going to be any pre-release pre-release reviews. I'm not sure what the term is, but yeah, there won't be any reviews for it before it comes out. So there's an embargo on that. So do not pre-order, sort of thing. So
Yeah.
just wait to see what it's like when it comes out. So a lot of people are scared. Or SimCity, which leads me on to my next topic. They were like, oh, no, we can't increase the size of the SimCity size. It's too big. We've got the maximum size that it can do. It can't be any bigger than that. Because I loved SimCity when it was sort of working, besides all the traffic issues and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm used to the old ones where the cities were so much bigger. And now someone's finally made it in offline mode and has increased the city sizes by like 3 times or something like that.
Wow.
I think it's like 3 kilometers. And apparently he did it like relatively easy, even though he's just a modder. It doesn't work for EA or anything. So that'll be really exciting when that comes out, because it's just so frustrating, because you finally get your city running and then you kind of like, okay, now I could just put this building, and I just need this one extra final building in there, like a specialty sort of building, and everything will be set. And then you kind of look at it and you're like, I have no space for this. I have absolutely no space to put like this building. So you're like, okay, I'll just demolish just like a little bit of this residential or commercial, something like that, or industrial, and just place it here. And so the second you do that,
And then
'cause
everyone
it's-
gets that.
yeah, it's it's just like a fine, delicate ecosystem, that sort of game, where you just knock down a couple of buildings, and it just
Global
everything just,
anarchy.
everything will just catch on fire.
You've just
or something
destroyed
like
a
that.
dog park, which then in turn makes the dogs rebel against their owners and take over the city and start urinating and pissing on everything.
Pretty much. So this will be really good. So instead of having a lot of little cities, you can have one big like metropolis or some crap like that. So that'd be really exciting. I don't know when it comes out. I think it comes out soon, or it may already be out. I don't know. I haven't had any time to check it out, but yeah, that'd be good.
Did something happen with it recently? Because I mean, I noticed that Jay started playing it. He played it for probably a good solid week. Last week or so, and just I'd wake up because of the time difference, and he'd be playing SimCity. I'm like, okay, something happened to it, like an expansion, or
There was an expansion a while ago, which, as much as I bitched about it, it was on sale and I bought it. There was I think it was Cities of Tomorrow or something like that, which
was
has
it
had all the
spaceships and
futuristic
stuff?
buildings. Yeah, and I mean that was great. I mean that looked really, really nice and everything, and it was a lot of fun. But then again, as soon as your city gets really big, just the traffic issue is it just becomes completely gridlocked, and your city can't operate. There'll be one fire, and it's like, oh, your fire truck couldn't get to this because there's too much traffic, and your whole city will like burn down. And it's just like, how can there be this much traffic? Just like it
I think it's
doesn't make
funny
sense.
how in real
Fix
life,
it.
how like there's infrastructure and costings and council permission and all these different bits of red tape. Yet on a video game, we still can't get around the traffic issues of.
Yeah.
Well, that's because it
Virtual
was
city.
programmed to go the quickest path or path of
The quickest
least
path or
resistance
something like that, yeah.
So they
And
don't use all the roads you build. They just use the quickest
line of
way,
sight
and
or-
it
Yeah.
just bottlenecks.
Exactly, yeah. And you'll build a road to try and divert traffic, and it's funny. There's
won't
like a clear route out of the city with no cars on it, and they will not go on that road because they're just stuck in this path, this one route sort of thing. They will not deviate from it, even though there's like the next lane over will be completely empty. They won't go on it, and it's like this
So
is
it's
just
like
fucking
Bondi
stupid.
then.
Fix it. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
everyone's just like, I'm not
there.
getting out of here. It took me 20 years to get here.
It's like Victoria Road on a Monday morning going towards the city at about 8:30 with the 2 or 3 lanes completely full but the bus lane completely empty, and it drives you fucking mental because you're sitting there in a parking lot and there's just a completely empty lane next to you. And there are coppers there, and they just wait for as soon as you get into that bus lane, bang, pull you over.
On the
And it's
Iron
like,
Cove Bridge?
just before the Iron Cove Bridge.
Yeah.
They have it in lots of places. They've got the cameras there now, the fixed cameras, but then also near the petrol station just before Iron Cove Bridge, just after it, all that sort of shit. So it's just like, oh, you cocksmokers.
They had a RTA mandated spot at the end of the Iron Cove Bridge, which is just big enough for, I don't know, a cop car maybe. And it's
Speed camera.
We drove past
Yes.
it the other day, and it was like, you sneaky bastards. That's like,
Because it's a six, yeah.
if it's not for the
'Cause
bus
I-
lane, which will already get you because there's cameras there anyway, it's the people who, I'm not sure if it's a T2, it wouldn't have been a T2 at the time, but it was pretty much the speed cameras.
And speeding
It's
as
a
well.
speed camera, yeah, because it's a 60 zone there. Sorry,
But
people
at
don't live in
night.
Sydney aren't going to know about this, but
Why?
it's a speed trap because there's no one on it. It's like 4 lanes or something. There's no one on it. It's completely flat, and you can't see at the end because there's kind of like the concrete barrier in the way.
Exactly.
And so that's the way I go to work there on a Saturday morning. So I'm there on that at about 8 o'clock in the morning. There's no one else around me. It is so easy to do like 65 or 70 over there without even noticing, and bang, there's a cop there with his car behind the concrete barrier, just like this, holding behind it, just resting the speed gun on top of the concrete barrier, and bang, as soon as he gets someone, he just hops in his car and just drives right out, and it's like, dude, there's no one else around me. Again, I'm knock on wood, never ever been busted for speeding, or especially there, but I know they're there every Saturday. And well, not pretty much every second or third
Pretty
Saturday or
much,
something
yeah.
like that.
When
but
we saw him, it was the
they,
same.
they get people there all the time. Yeah, they get people there all the time. Or they just wait a little because, no one's on the road when I go to work. So maybe they wait till like 9:30 or something when I'm already at work. But yeah,
How
shocking.
good's that? We were able to turn gaming news into a grinds, bends, gears segment.
And you're old when you talk about fucking traffic as well. Oh my god. That's what I was talking about, traffic because of SimCity.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we turned gaming into into an RTA debate.
Real life. Fucking
Mind you,
nuts.
though,
It's not called RTA anymore. It's called MTA or something. Something else now.
Yeah, something mental. God, I don't know. Chris, any traffic-related grievances you'd like to air just before we move on?
Do you want to explain how your car's not actually JDM and my car's more JDM than yours? What?
We can do that. That's something that
Yes, this is a little inside joke we discovered this week where we both have Jap sports cars. Well, his is an actual sports car, mine's like a fake sports car.
yours has
But
sport.
mine has sport written on it. And it was actually made in Japan, which is like awesome. Because I checked the VIN number and it starts with JS, and that means it was made in Japan. And Castro's was made in
Melbourne?
England or something.
England?
in the UK.
Yeah.
Good old
I reckon it was made in Swindon. If you did your research, you'd probably find it's made in
The
Swindon.
Swindon lot, yep.
Yeah.
Swindon lot. Yep.
Because they made the normal Civic, but I think they might have done the Type R as well. Oh, Chris.
Yeah, this is. I think it's
Probably
all from the
English
same
engineering.
factory. They have one factory for the Type R's in there, I think.
Oh, Chris is Ben's on the refill.
Sorry, it's ginger beef on my stomach.
Oh right, I thought you were just drinking straight Scotch from the bottle, like a
Oh no,
boss.
that's. Well, I do have the Cellar Jerry's has to go with
Cellar
it if you
Jerry.
have ginger beef, but
God.
yeah.
And here's me like a punk.
Speaking of driving,
Oh, you
I
have
just-
fucking wine every week. I always have my water.
That is
Speaking
true.
of water,
That is from last
my-
week.
Yeah, I got my Voss water.
Quick promo
What's
for
good?
Orchard River, Gerringong's finest winery. Paid promotion. No, not really.
Send me the case.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about how Google had the rug pulled from under them this week. And Amazon came and sort of swiped Twitch away from them.
So we were talking last week or the week before. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, about Google.
Just and how like YouTube was gonna they're set to buy it and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just 3 days ago I think I just checked it, read it, and it's like no, Amazon confirmed. And there's like a little bit of a spiel from the guy, I can't remember the guy's name, and he's just like, well, Amazon fit in with our ideals. They had the same future sort of plan. We felt comfortable with them.
They're not going to
things like
change
that.
anything.
Yeah, so who knows what YouTube or Google were going to do, but Amazon, from what he led the interview said, basically said it fit into more with what we've had the same sort of vision. So yeah.
I happen to love this kind of merger. I suppose, well, is that merger? Buyout? Whatever it is. Acquisition?
It's good. It's competition.
It's
If YouTube bought
that
it,
was number one, yeah.
If YouTube bought it, or Google, whatever, same thing, there'd be a massive monopoly on that sort of stuff. But now that Amazon has it, pitted against each other, the winner, us. Consumer wins. Competition is the best.
Competition.
You're doing competition.
with each other. Yeah.
So yeah, we win from it, and as well, especially in Australia. I mean, Australian Amazon store is still just books at the moment, whereas obviously the US just has a fantastic catalog. When that then comes to us, I mean, think of how much stuff we can pair with Amazon. Well, it's just like I think it's Amazon Prime, all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Think about that with Twitch as well. Twitch Turbo, maybe you could combine the two. Whereas you could have like a subscription with Amazon, which would then follow over to Twitch. So that'd be pretty cool. Just a new avenue instead of going to Google for everything. Something else with Amazon.
Yeah,
I just had a note come under my door. One sec.
I know. Oh,
It's good for us as well that maybe there's another platform we can broadcast on.
exactly.
Maybe one with a little bit less copyright restrictions. A
Exactly.
bit more freedom.
What's hot off the presses, Gavin? What's going on? What's this note?
Oh, I thought it was.
Keep it down in there.
I thought it was a note saying like "good night" or something like that, but it just turns out that it was
It's a bill.
Genius Bar work authorization printout, which bears no use to me right now anyway. But
So
my
it's just
fiancée
filing
thought
out
she'd
there.
just send it to me anyway. Yeah,
She's tidying up. She's like, fucking Gavin, just get
That's
the
it.
fuck off.
God,
Take this
even
shit.
when he's in the next room, he's being untidy. No, I mean I have heard a lot of sort of differing opinions on it, and largely positive, thankfully, in that they were trying to figure out how they would handle like advertising and stuff like that, and whether or not it would be completely inwardly facing, and if you're watching a stream, for example, whether or not it would do a scan of like if you had a section underneath your Twitch stream which had all the products that you're using, Elgato, video cards, towers, different components, controllers, whatever, whether or not they would be smart enough to kind of read that information and then in turn sort of, if you wanted to emulate that kind of setup, send you directly to that page in a new window so you could buy the very same thing. And I think
There are a couple of YouTubers that do that at the moment.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I actually like that because if I'm interested in something, I'll scroll down, I'll click on the link and, there's the price. Ooh, bit more than I wanted to spend, but I'll keep looking.
Yeah. And And I mean, yeah, I mean, for a lot of popular YouTubers kind of thing, some of them more, I imagine the question they probably would get asked a lot is if they can't find details of like a setup video on their channel, or even if they're not even a YouTuber, it's like they want to know what goes into this sort of stuff. And if Amazon sells it, then it's a nice way to introduce them to that. If it's something like maybe even slightly related, if you're watching a car game, it could send you to the bookstore or the book section to, the history of the Ferrari if you're playing the Crew, or, just it literally is so expansive that you could.
Well, I also like Amazon because it gives you the brand new price or the used price, where you can actually buy a second-hand one instead.
I love sometimes how it's like literally 1 or 2 cents cheaper. I just like, I think that's hilarious.
I'm going to buy the used version just to make a point.
But then opt for the express postage and pay an extra $30 or whatever.
Take that, capitalism.
And then there's also, and the Amazon service will be way better than the Twitch current service. It'll be a lot more robust, and then it'll just make YouTube pick up their game as well and bring us that beautiful buttery 60 frames. These eyes, no more 30 frames for these eyes, please. Okay, I need the full 60.
Well, YouTube are rolling out 60.
Too slowly. What is going on?
Yeah, 4K.
Too slowly.
4K.
I nearly pulled the trigger on a SLR today, but then I realised I hadn't done my due diligence and consulted you, so I will hold off for a while. I need to buy it before PAX.
You would be booed and taunted until Ben's throat is sore.
We are going to have a field day with this. I will spend 3 weeks researching it and find you the best price.
It was literally either a 70D or a 700D. So for the sake of 10, separated by...
Neither.
What? You're a Nikon guy?
No, I said neither.
Oh, neither. Oh, God. Dude, I've got a budget.
What are you thinking? Well, I'm happy you're not going Nikon, even though in the past you've had problems with Canon, and has it been your fault?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not a Nikon person. If you buy Nikon, you will get no future help or customer service.
No future real estate help or PC-related assistance?
Nothing.
Heathen,
in fact,
peasant.
I might just go over there.
Game, just not to help you.
Yeah. He'll come over with a refund notice that you could send it back to Nikon to get a credit note. Yeah. Speaking of PAX Prime is happening at the moment in sunny Seattle. Is it Seattle?
Seattle?
Keokuk?
Seattle.
Cucamonga?
Seattle, you're killing me. Yes.
And I suppose without falling into the trap of, rehashing stuff that, we probably would have seen in the last few weeks at Gamescom, they have gone into a little bit more detail about Far Cry 4. They've gone a bit more detail about Mortal Kombat. This Halo channel, which is spawning from stuff that we saw at Gamescom, that looks really intense. Like, apart from Nightfall, it seems like there's this whole sphere of content that surrounds it, which I'm really excited for. More stuff on Evolve, more stuff on Sunset Overdrive. I'm glad I saw more on Sunset, because I think that's going to be a bit of a sneaky one.
I think it's a bust.
A what?
A bust.
A bust? You're going to call that now?
Yeah.
You're going to come
So you're
out.
saying sneaky good, but Castro's saying shit.
I'm saying sneaky
Chase.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going sneaky good for some
I
reason.
don't know, I've been watching it and I'm just like, oh, I can see that being good for half an hour or so, and then it's just...
But I think that about Left 4 Dead, though.
I like Left 4 Dead.
Exactly, and that's where I'm going. It's kind of like, I see that as every sort of Treyarch Call of Duty game which has zombies. It's like I can probably count on 4 fingers the amount of times I've done anything to do with zombies. Just to see how far I could get, and it's not far. I'll give you the word now. It's not very far. I'd rather go against real life Christmas noobs and 13-year-olds as opposed
So
to
delicious. So delicious.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched a bit of an expanded thing on Sunset, and I don't know, this looks really fluid. Like the whole combat system. It's It's just built for fun, really. I mean, it doesn't take itself too seriously.
It is fun, but I don't know. For me, I've been watching it, and it's just the shine's worn off it for me. I think it's just
Seen too much of
I
it
don't
before
know.
you've had a hands on.
I mean, I'd like to play it just to see, but I don't know. I think it's one of those games where after a couple of hours or so, it's just going to be, I'll play
Need it.
something else and then I'll come back to it, and you don't actually ever end up finishing it.
And I guess I've been paying more attention to demos lately, and props to Ben to get me the crew on a beta key for that. Yeah, I put a lot more weight in demos these days, because there's literally that many games that I've pretty much got in front of me here that probably amount to $1,500, and yet if I can maybe save 160 of that on two games, which on paper I go, yep, I'm going to buy that, and then go, oh, hang on, if there was a demo available, could have saved me that money because I've only got 2 hours of playtime out of it before I got bored of it, then
Yeah.
even better. And I think the crew kind of fitted into that. Forza Horizon 2, I've probably maybe sunk 4 or 5 hours into Forza Motorsport,
Oh,
Forza 5.
I didn't know there was a demo out. I'd love to play that one.
Yeah, I think
I'll
it's
have to check it
coming in. I think it's coming in September.
The demo
Yeah.
or the game?
Yeah,
Oh,
a demo of it. Yeah, because I was
Awesome.
really on the
Nice.
fence of it. I think Alana Pierce did a video on it, and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of glad this is coming out on demo because
Did you play the first one?
no, I didn't. Which is also something I'm quite glad about because I'm going in there completely fresh.
Did you play Need for Speed Rivals?
No, but I kind of see that in the same kind of ballpark as well. It's
I think,
a more
I
arcadey
haven't
kind
played
of feel.
the first one. I've only seen stuff and been told from friends that have played it. But I think it's a bit similar. I've got Need for Speed Rivals where you can be driving along and the other cars are actually other people.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like open world, but you pick up missions or something on the way. And
Yeah, it's a social driver.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I saw the crew operating in a very similar way, kind of thing. But yeah, I guess I just want to see how that operates and I just want to see if I get sick of it, really. If it's got the staying power to keep me hooked for at least a couple of months. If I break even and I get that money's worth, awesome. If not, straight back to JB Hi-Fi. Listen up, jerks. So yeah, Sunset, Forza. Yeah, Sunset could be a little bit tricky. Hasn't grabbed me 100%, but I think I see potential. Yeah, there were
I guess
more,
we'll find
more
out who's
detail.
right.
Mortal Kombat.
We'll have to remember this one.
Which one?
I said we'll have to remember this episode when it comes out. We'll see the review, see how well it does.
Yeah.
One of us will be right. One of us will be wrong.
Whose cuisine will reign supreme? Yeah.
And the Kinect is going to be on sale for $150.
So I could sell my Kinect to somebody for $100.
Well, you got to be thinking there's going to be a profit on that 150. Or if they're selling it at cost price just to get the units out the door that aren't being bundled now.
Well, that's the thing. They just really don't. They haven't really integrated it into anything. So
Well, I mean, yes and no. They kind of integrated it into everything in a way. I mean, going from the dashboard, I mean, there are some things that I'm trying to reference even now. How can I get to them without saying Xbox?
yeah, I have a
my
bit of
pants,
trouble
kind of
getting things to unsnap without it. But
Exactly, yeah. I'm thinking, I should be able to press select or something to get it to unsnap, and it's literally, okay, Xbox unsnap, and then it works. And I'm like, fuck, just give me a button for that. And if the button does exist, put it in the comments below. I'd love to know. Shit.
yeah, I'd like to know that
I'd like
as
to know.
well.
We'd all like to know. Yeah. Yeah. What else was there this week? A few more details on the Division. Nothing terribly in detail. I want to see more detail for that sort of stuff. I mean, surely if if you've got to the point where you've put a massive sort of presentation together for E3, I don't think we saw too much at Gamescom, although I could be wrong on that as well.
I don't remember seeing anything.
I
Yeah,
haven't seen too much. Well, it's been more Call of Duty.
door closing
Gamescom.
action. For all the door closing action you can handle, buy the
Could
Division.
you imagine?
Doors
Could you imagine? You know when they have like the big releases and like the big reveals and all that sort of stuff. They show like the cinematic trailer for it at like those big events. But then sometimes when you actually get the game, like that doesn't actually, it doesn't look the same or it doesn't have the same features. If when people get that game, like you can't actually do that. Could you imagine like the outcry? It's like, I was sold on this because I could close that fucking door, and now I've bought it and I can't close the door.
And now I just brush past it and want to just nudge it. I want my right hand to come out and close it.
Okay, boop. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want that too. If I don't get that, I'm gonna fucking flip a lid. So
Fuck
Yeah.
you, Ubisoft. Although they didn't have a good week, they
I wouldn't
delayed Assassin's Creed Unity, which, I mean, let's face it,
eh,
zero fucks given from this side of the coin here.
yeah. I've still only played 20 minutes of Watch
Ron,
Dogs. So.
Ron likes the Assassin's Creed series. He'd have an opinion on this.
So many things this week, right? I mean, there was something to do with Mario Kart 8 and an expansion to that, and outside of the Mario universe, all these characters coming in. I thought it was going to be well up for that.
Yeah.
More Nintendo news, like the 3DS got a redesign. It's like, dude, Ron, ain't you missing out? All this technology, all these relaunches. I wonder what his opinion might have been of the redesign.
Fuck it.
I don't think you played the 3DS.
That's what he would have said.
Although it hasn't all been good news though, because I read something the other day saying users of the 12 gigabyte PlayStation 3 were told that GT Online would be unplayable on the console after 1.16 due to where did I read that? I'll have to find out where.
That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I think it had something to do with the actual size of the update or something. Oh yeah, Rockstar alerted PlayStation 3 owners they're no longer able to run on due to a recent update in 1.6. Apparently the new update added in just enough content to force the owners of the 12 gigabyte system to get a bigger hard drive. Can you imagine? You're sitting there paying for your, an update. Oh, is it just an update? It's not not even an expansion. Oh, that's what it is, yeah.
That is crazy.
But that was also like, and not that I'm having a shot at Xbox or anything like that, or whoever owns an Xbox.
Shots
But
fired,
there's like,
shots fired.
No, no, that's why I made the caveat. I'm not. But also, like, didn't you have to buy a USB at launch from GTA V so you could play it?
Yes.
A USB.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I'm
I
looking
mean,
at it
people
right
with Xboxes from day one couldn't even play it on their Xboxes without expanding it.
And
At least the
the stupid-
PlayStation it took like another year, but still.
The stupid thing is that, I mean, whether or not I've, unknowingly future-proofed it by buying a 32 gig drive, I only needed something like 8 or 9 or something, didn't it? Wasn't it? It was something
I don't know.
small. I could have bought a 16 and saved myself some money, but I've got a 32 gig thumb drive over there, which I would love to be able to just take with me because I think this one's only a 16, and I'm constantly running out of space on that.
The speed on that one though.
It's a
Yeah, that's the
it's a
thing. The
3.
bigger they are, the slower they are.
This is a 3, and it's a 16. So this one's quite good.
That's what it's-
Touchwood is good. It's quite good. But I mean, if I have to ever transport episodes of QuadFeed to take into work to upload,
The
then,
upload process in overseas would be the same amount of time for you to put it on your USB. Would be for the same for them to upload it to YouTube.
yeah.
Well, that's
That did it's hard to say, but anyway.
when you're looking for places. Have you asked if it's NBN ready?
You just check online.
I was reading my I was reading your mind just then. Yeah, I've literally been typing in addresses of places that are on the market right now, just to nbnco.com or .gov, whatever it is, just to see where we're at. And there are patches of purple, which are NBN ready, and there are patches of brown where I think it's in the process.
About to be ready? Yeah,
about to be ready. Yeah, or like the cable's being laid for it, or nodes are being installed. So yeah, I've been keeping an eye on it, but I mean, it's far from being a crystal ball. I mean, I work next to a girl whose boyfriend actually is one of the installers, and yet he basically gets sent on assignment on a daily basis, saying, okay, you're going out to this exchange or this area, and it's almost like there's someone in a giant conference room with like a wheel of fortune. It's like spinning. Oh, today you're going to. Oh, okay. Today you're going to St. Mary's. Okay, off you go. Get in the truck. And it's like there's so much random. And then I think it was you, Chris, who actually sent me an article saying how they're going to be doing like inner city apartments.
Yes.
And whether or not I'm on the list or not. And yeah, I didn't actually think to check. But I know
there are some in the Marrickville area. I'm not sure if it was close to you, but
yeah, I could go out in the balcony and throw a tennis ball at it. It's literally at the end of the street. And the funny thing is, and I said this in a previous episode, there is the 157 meters that way. I measured it. Is the exchange. 200 meters that way is the apartment building, which is pre-wide for NBN. We're in the middle, can't get NBN yet. Not that it matters because we're moving out of here hopefully in the next few months, but it was just like, my God, like it's getting to the point now where it's a utility service that I'm actually, trying to put some level of forward thinking. And I don't want to buy a property purely based on, it being NBN ready, because if that was the case, we'd be moving to Riverston. And that, we went and saw a place in Riverston last week, and it felt like I was traveling to the ends of the earth. Quite literally. You get to the Hills District and you've still got another 25 minutes. So I'm like, nah, not all about that lifestyle.
That's terrible.
Did you guys have a topic?
There's been... Oh, were you going to say something, Chris?
I was just going to say, someone was telling me apparently Titanfall, the next update or something,
Pilot Skirmish.
Pilot Skirmish, no Titans.
I did have that as a topic, and along with the question mark of Game Saver.
Is it going to be free?
Yeah.
It's a patch update.
Oh, free?
Yeah, it's just a game
That's
mode.
pretty cool. I'll check it out before Call of Duty, which, as much as I hate to say it, I'm a little bit excited for.
Yeah.
Who would have ever fucking thought I was going to say that? I'm a little bit excited for the new Call of Duty.
I'm going to make that into a soundbite. I'm going to make that the ringtone.
I know you fucking will.
The ringtone for whenever you send me a text message. It's like, I'm excited for Titanfall. Oh, no, Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
I've just fucked it already. I'm excited for Call of Duty. Oh, I've got a message from Ben. Here it is. Yeah.
I'm not pre-ordering it, but I've been watching a few of like the little vlogs and stuff from Gamescom, in particular Hat Films, which I fucking love those guys, and they showed some footage of it, playing it and all that sort of stuff, and it was the first like actual like non-trailer footage that had been released by the company. And I just realised we were talking about Titanfall, and now I'm just like completely deviated the conversation. I'm really sorry.
Well, it is going to be very similar to the next Call of Duty now without...
Well, yeah, it looks incredible. That's what everyone's saying. It's like, wow, like the new Call of Duty is very similar. But yeah, from what I've seen, it actually looks really, really good. So I'll wait a couple of days after it's released and see what people are saying. And if it's good, I may purchase it.
You know what, though? I think, and this will marry in nicely to PAX Australia, is I've got the Friday and the Monday off. And if you pre-order, and let's face it, you're going to get it. So you might as well pre-order. Are you having the Monday off?
No. I fly out of PAX, Melbourne, Monday morning. I'm not pre-ordering it.
Do you have the day off Monday?
Yeah, I do.
So can you imagine, right? I'm flying out Sunday night. And...
What a wanker. We were supposed to get pissed on Sunday night and catch a plane hungover on Monday morning.
Is
But
that what we're
no,
doing?
Call of Duty comes first.
No, not even that. No, it's more, getting on a plane with Sophie because she can't get the Monday off. Really.
Fiancés, oh my god.
Sophie going down
Seriously.
as well.
She is. Yes. And,
Yeah.
but that's the thing. Because it's day 0, I will be, snug as a bug in a rug, sitting here, day 0, double XP. I'll have a short week of work that week, Tuesday through Friday. Stars have aligned for once in my life. Stars have aligned. And I'll be sitting there, double XP, Advanced Warfare, getting my rank on, getting my supply drops. And you guys will be...
Are you going to be what platform? Well, it's on Monday. I'll be fucking jerking it on Monday. What platform are you getting it on? I'm guessing console.
Or PS4
You know what?
or Xbox One.
I'm steadily...
Or PC. PC.
Well, the there was a video that I watched this week where it was assumed incorrectly that all of the footage that you saw was actually like during the launch, during Gamescom, all that sort of stuff was actually done on a PC and assumed as such, because that's generally the path of the course. Apparently, you see these builds where controllers just basically disappear into a cabinet or something like that. But apparently they actually, all the footage that you saw was actually footage captured from an Xbox One. Now, I didn't mind what I saw of an Xbox One. So if I know that it could potentially get better than what I've already seen on a PS4, then I might get it on PS4. And it'll all just come down to how much of a shift it is from going from the trusty 360 controller. Where am I at? 360 controller. To that, which is what I've spent the last year on.
It's a bit different.
Yeah.
Are you going to be playing
that?
COD on your Titanfall one? Oh, that's sticking it to Titanfall. Playing Call of Duty with a
Well,
Titanfall.
the argument is there for
I'm surprised there's no little DRM lock because it's a console where you can't use a Titanfall controller for Call of Duty. I'm surprised that the companies haven't done something like that.
Wouldn't that be
Wouldn't put
funny?
it past them.
You plug in the
Every time you go
USB.
for a headshot, shoots up.
Yeah,
just
just it
adds-
completely fucks you over.
It adds 60% more recoil.
Drop grenades at your feet.
Yeah. You plug in the USB and it's like, not detecting anything. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, what's that? It just automatically loads Titanfall as soon as you plug it in.
Mm.
It's like, oh, you clearly want to play Titanfall because you're using a Titanfall controller. So, yeah, no worries. Put it in.
Seems legit. So yeah, I'm actually yet to hold a PS4 controller. As strange as
Does
that
your
sounds.
local EB or JB have a demo section where you can play games?
Yeah, I could probably do that. Yeah. But the
It's
whole...
definitely something. The first time you hold it, it's going to be different.
Are we still talking about the controller?
Maybe.
Chris.
But I love.
Please.
I say this every time I talk about controllers, but I love the Xbox One controller. It is so comfortable. Again, if there were drivers for Windows for a PlayStation 4 controller, I would have bought that instead. But because I first heard about the Xbox One controller drivers for PC, I was like, well, yeah, I'll get it. I use Windows. It's Microsoft, my Windows controller, and it's fantastic. I love it. But yeah, who would have thought? Yeah, I'd say that. But I say it every time.
I think Jay was playing PlayStation with a PlayStation controller on his Xbox. He just prefers it. I'm going back a couple of years because there's apparently a little adapter or something, but apparently it doesn't work on this version. I could be wrong. I just remember him saying something about that. Yeah. It'll be a shift. I'm well aware of that, and I'm trying to think back to the days of my very first PlayStation. And
PS1.
yeah, PS1. Just kind of going, how does this feel? We're playing NBA Jam
It's a
or
little
something.
bit.
A little bit different.
Well, speaking of PlayStation, did you hear that they got DDoSed into oblivion?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worse than that, when the CEO was on his flight, it got
bomb
rerouted
threat.
because someone tweeted there's a bomb threat. This shit's getting ridiculous.
It is, and it kind of leads
It
into
is.
another kind of swatting story that happened in the last couple of days. But
Yeah, I saw that one too. Well, one of them. There's been a lot of them.
it was the Lizard
but yeah.
Squad. I mean, can you take an organization seriously when they've named themselves after a 1990s cartoon series or something? It's kind of like
If I was having one, I'd be called the Samurai Pizza Cats.
Samurai Pizza Cat.
my friend's got a tattoo of them actually on her shoulder blade.
Oh, really?
Wow,
Yeah.
that's hardcore.
She's such a cool chick. Like on one arm, it's got the most beautiful sort of lotus blossom pink, beautiful shading, lovely line work sort of stuff, and then on her shoulder blade, it's got Samurai Pizza Cat. Like, wow, that's like such a contrast in art styles. That defined my
That's
childhood.
awesome.
Cartoons in the early 90s, fantastic. Yeah, the bomb threat, which rerouted the plane. They apparently tried to do Xbox Live, and I think there was some sort of isolated cases of people not being able to connect. But yeah, they fucked over the PlayStation network for sure.
Yeah, they also did the Blizzard one as well. But I mean, I've been playing Hearthstone a lot lately. I haven't noticed any problems. So maybe it's just certain areas or servers or something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, haven't noticed anything. It's just crazy. I'm getting a little bit over it, even though it's not affecting me. But you know, to be on a plane and get rediverted
That's pretty crazy.
because
To
of a
read
bomb
bit
threat.
plain.
Yeah, that's
You can't tell
some
me
little
that
angry
the
teenager.
NSA
little
can't do
basement.
anything about that. Like, I mean,
I'm
in
sure
this
they
day
can
and
track
age,
them
seriously,
down.
I mean, there was a joke article going around before about a 15-year-old being sentenced to 25 years to life. It turned out to be another fabrication and a joke and stuff. But why can't we track this sort of stuff? If it's a phone call that's been made via Skype or something, you don't need to be in the same country. Why is this being routed
Well,
to?
there's tracking with computers, like VPNs, proxy servers, plus going
mean-
through somebody's system.
Yeah, but when a private company created that, though, I'm sure a government body can then figure that shit out as well.
Yeah.
Well, I guess
Nothing is foolproof. Nothing is concrete.
just if you've
know.
got the time to go through all the layers of stuff.
I'm sure a government department would.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, because one
But
day,
again, I don't. Yeah.
I think we touched on it a couple of weeks ago was it last week? Yeah, it was last week. Someone is going to turn around, and the one in question that happened today, like actually shows it when the actual shit went down. Like he's there doing his stream. It's like, oh my god, I think I'm being swatted. Like actually predicated, going.
Yeah, he could hear. He said, "Oh, they're clearing the rooms, aren't they?"
clearing
Was it,
the
what was
rooms.
his K? What was his name? It starts with a
Kutra?
K.
Kutra or something.
Yeah, that's it. Something like that. Yeah, he's like, "Oh wow, they're clearing the room." He goes, and he was laughing at it. He's like, "Oh, I think I'm being swatted. I think they're clearing the rooms." And he was kind of joking about it at first, and then yeah, bang, they just came in.
Not a laughing matter after like these guys just
And he
stormed
was
that
wearing,
room.
and it was so fucking awkward as well. Two parts. He took the headphones on. He was wearing headphones, and
He
then
wasn't wearing
just
pants.
as they come in, it said, "Oh, terrorists win," like on the screen because he was playing Counter Strike, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like imagine if that came through the speakers, sort of thing. But
Yeah.
he was wearing headphones, so they didn't hear it. And then someone then donated and said like, "Fuck the police," donated $1, sort of thing, and that showed up on the screen.
Really?
And then he just goes, and the cops goes, "Who's that? Who's that person? Who's that?" Sort of thing. Who are these people? And he's like, "I don't know who these people are. They're just, that's just like a chat
These are
room
my
donation
financiers.
sort of thing." Yeah, and then they were just like talking to him, and he surprisingly kept his cool, like really well, sort of thing. Like he didn't seem too shaken up or anything like that. But yeah,
That's the thing,
like,
if you've got
that would've
nothing to
been-
hide.
it would have been shit. Yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he
But
was
it's just
completely fine.
and then people,
On the other end of the
yeah,
scale,
and people get, yeah.
sorry, you
And
go.
people get stuck into the cops as well. They're like, oh, they come in, they're all like gung-ho and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, hold on. They just got a report saying that some wannabe terrorist is like in that room with like a bunch of guns or whatever. As if they're going to come in like all cautious or something like that.
You won't get a
that's
polite
like their
SWAT
job.
team. It's the complete antithesis of what they're all about. They're not like,
Yeah.
yoo-hoo, hi,
Excuse me.
just got some
Can you
reports
open the
that
door
some
for a second?
people.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, yeah, they got to seem, yeah, again, if you're in that situation, it would be annoying because, they're like very blunt or, angsty or whatever towards you, which, yeah, would be a shit situation. But still, it's not their fault. It's doing their fucking job, man. They're putting on like their life on the line like every single day. And they got like dickheads like this calling in hoaxes. One day it's going to be real. They're going to be ready for it. So, yeah. Again, if I was in that situation, I'd be fucking pissed off. For everyone involved to be fucking pissed off.
And the other thing as well is like, and I think I touched on it before as well, is like, in a country where there's that many guns as well, all it would take would be for a person to not hear them clear rooms. Some guy just bursts into a room, and I mean, well, I'll call him out, but like Wings of Redemption, he claims that he's got a firearm within arm's reach pretty much whenever he's at his desk. It's like, can you imagine someone coming through the room, with a battering ram or something, clearing rooms as they should do, and all of a sudden they see a firearm there.
Yep.
Someone gets a little bit trigger happy, just pops a couple.
Yep.
In either direction. It could be someone firing at the cops, could be the cops firing at them because they detected a threat. They see an AR-15 in the corner. They don't know if it's loaded or not. It's got a scope on it, or all this stuff. Like it's gonna
or
happen.
they've got it like on the table. Yeah, or they've got it on the table like they're cleaning it or something like that. But just like, and they open. That's the first thing they're gonna see when they walk in. Bang, gun. So yeah, it's shit.
Episode 35. We called it out. We said it's gonna happen. Time
Someone's gonna get shot.
Yeah.
And then you know what? Hopefully we're fucking wrong as well. Hopefully we're fucking wrong and it doesn't happen and no one gets killed or anything like that.
So unfortunately, it's going to be probably one of the bigger YouTubers because they tend to, the bigger Twitch streamers because they
bigger target. Yeah.
Targeted.
But then it's and hopefully they know that something like that can happen and they will protect themselves like almost like gun-proof like their room or something like that or SWAT-proof their room where something like that does happen. They can't give them an excuse to try something like that or get shot at or, something awful like that. Hopefully they themselves take their own precautions where instead of leaving a gun in the open, they'll put it away.
No,
really, doesn't need to be.
Lighters.
Yep, shit like that doesn't need to be out, Yeah.
Do you think it's going to go the other way where, Twitch streamers get proactive and say, hi, or local police force or something, say hi. In all likelihood, there's this bullshit that's going around at the moment. I'd expect a courtesy call.
Somebody might call up to say that, if people call up to say that this bank's being robbed, it's just a swatting attempt. You can ignore it. And
no, I mean in domestic cases,
you go rob the bank in the next suburb.
Yeah.
In domestic cases though, where it's like, this is me. Like, you're in person. This is me. This is my address. If you ever get called out to go to this address, under the pretense of I've murdered someone or I've chopped their head off.
Please just double check it.
Yeah.
Please just double check it.
I think
I don't think they'll give a shit though.
Woody,
I don't think they'll give a shit.
I think he gets that courtesy. I think he gets a sort of preemptive phone call, sort of say, "Hey, is everything going? Yeah, everything's fine."
Killed anyone lately?
Yeah, that's it.
No,
yeah. No, everything's fine. It's fine. Yeah. I mean, I've beat people, but I haven't killed anyone lately. Yeah. Did we kind of dodge that whole new mode in Titanfall a little bit, and we sort of diverted onto?
We did. Sorry, that was my fault.
No, that's my fault.
Yeah, we did.
Because if anything, it's kind of like almost like a proving ground for what we might be able to expect out of Call of Duty.
Yeah, I want to play. I want an excuse to play Titanfall again. I want an excuse to play it again. So whenever that comes out, when's it come out? We know. Is it out now? I'll start playing now.
I don't know.
Ben, come down. Pilot skirmish.
Because I want something new. I mean, because don't forget we need to talk about our Counter-Strike Adventure the other night too.
Oh, sweet baby Jesus.
Oh, did you guys play that?
I've been waiting for the fucking video to go up. Been waiting for it. Gavin had so much fun. Woo.
Which Counter-Strike did you play?
It corrupted.
Classic.
What can I say? Oh, unfortunately, the video corrupted. Oh man.
Oh.
Oh dear.
Which Counter-Strike were you playing?
A 2 and 28 will corrupt the file, you know, when you've got that sort of kill death ratio. Oh, yeah.
It's 2 and 30.
It seems to suffer that. 2 and 30, oh, sorry.
No. Well, I can't even remember. Where did it say this? When was it? The next. It's just the next update.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I think it might even be. I mean, this is from 3 days ago. I think that actually, yeah, I remember seeing something about it being, the next time we turn on your. Oh, hang on. On Twitter, Respawn said it doesn't have a release date to share for Titanfall's 6th game update. Is this the 6th one? Oh, who the fuck knows? Anyway,
I don't know.
Do you think
But
it might be a
they're gonna do
potential?
it
I mean, for the people that were criticizing it for being, people going on crazy gun streaks against bots, and technically you can win a match just by killing bots and not even running to any pilots whatsoever. You could have flawless games or Titans or anything like that, and does this level the playing field? Is this something that could potentially save it,
Yeah,
or at least get it back on track?
You'll get them back on track. I think it'd be great.
Is the game going to be renamed Fall?
Titanless Fall.
Oh,
Titanless
there ain't
Fall.
no Titans no more. This game is Fall. That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
video,
no, I
actually.
don't know. It'll get people playing it for about another week, and then everyone will play Call of Duty again. But really, it had the recipe. How can a game with such a good recipe just disappear? I mean, I know we've mentioned this several times, but really, there's no reason why we shouldn't be playing that game all the time.
I think it was just not enough maps, not enough modes.
Yeah, not enough
Not enough weapons.
customization, maybe. Yeah, not enough
Customization,
weapons.
yeah.
I mean,
Any customization aspects came in the second or third update, even if it was just renaming classes, stuff that should have come out of the box. I mean, it's not like they didn't have much of a pedigree to go on. You had guys who worked for Infinity Ward, for Christ's sake.
Even if you just completely copy Call of Duty and then add a couple of things or whatever, it would have been good. But no, it wasn't enough.
Well, they originally argued that...
Nothing to strive for. That's the thing as well. Nothing to strive for.
Yeah.
When you're can't wait to unlock this or whatever.
Golden camos.
Well, originally they didn't want to up the party size from anything more than 3 per team. Or whatever the number is, I can't remember.
Which I'm hoping, because there's no
6 Titans.
Titans, that's gone away with. I'd like to see more people with less Titans. So if there's no
because the maps are pretty big. The maps are pretty big, so you could.
But
fit
that was
more
the argument,
people running around there.
The argument was that if you had 6 human-controlled people per team, that there would be a bit of a logjam when everyone got their Titans.
But now there's no Titans. You could probably fit maybe 8.
You still
So
have
there's an extra 4 players per map.
I'd actually like to know that every enemy that I'm seeing is that of an actual human-controlled person.
not a robot.
Not a bot or
not
what
a
are they
bot.
called? What are they called? Reavers or something? I don't know.
Odds a few. There's specters. There's
That's it.
grunts. Yeah. Who knows?
Because I always thought I was doing quite well, and then I realised I had no human player kills.
It's 2 pilot kills, 16 grunt kills. Damn it!
Do you remember the email I sent you, Gav, where I was like, dude, I played 1 round and look at all these kills I got, and I sent you a screenshot in an email because you're at work and I was at home that day, and you're like, yeah, that's all the grunts sort of thing. That's the AI you've been killing, not the other players. And I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. I'll just go back in my hole now.
Cade is still dealing.
Yeah. Well, I suppose time will tell. I mean, they didn't make a huge article about it. But yeah, I guess the
I don't
community.
think there's really much you can do unless they were going to make some of those changes, but
Yeah. Oh,
see, hopefully.
Did you see that video during the week? It looks staged, but it was funny as hell. Where the video begins in, I think it must have been the brother, and he hears this commotion in the next room, and his brother is sort of like frantically looking around his room for his video game collection.
Yeah, that was staged.
Yeah, totally. And
Still funny.
yeah, have you seen it, Chris?
The one where it's they're outside on the lawn.
The lawnmower man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I laughed my ass off on that one. Sitting there going, dude, would that be something that my dad would do? And I'm like, you know what? He probably would. You'd probably have to give it a few more goes because he doesn't have a ride-on lawnmower, but Christ.
Hopefully you guys can show it to your better halves. Otherwise,
Well, Amy posted it. Yeah, my girlfriend Amy, she posted it to my wall, and I just said, "Oh yeah, I'd be upset too if my son was a console player. I'd probably do the same thing."
Oh, snap. It's hard to run over a PC tower as well. So
Yeah, exactly.
unless you're going to take out all the internals and then just maybe flat pack the tower into some sort of aluminium collapsible box.
Ben buys military grade. It's tough.
Ben buys what?
Military grade.
Oh, right, yeah. Titanium cases and stuff. Chris,
Yes.
begin your rejoicing because there is a Saints Row 4 expansion on the way. Get out of hell.
Is it an expansion or a whole new game? I thought it was a whole new game.
It might be in a whole new game. I saw sort of like a playable demo or something playable that's at PAX Prime, and it looks it looks like Batman.
Like you
Has
think,
been set fire.
yeah, you kind of like after playing the latest one, you're like, they can't go any further than this. Where can we go from here, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yet here we are, and now we're going to hell.
Here we are, 33 episodes later, after Chris's world-famous gaffe. And now we're talking about Saints Row 4
I've only
expansion.
playing game series.
And so
Always
you're right.
a
Is it?
sequel.
Yeah, it is an expansion. So
is an
you're right. It's
okay.
not a standalone. Yeah,
There you go. So,
January 27, 2015.
Chris, you will have some homework. You will be downloading said expansion, giving your honest review. Because it looks like. I mean, this segues beautifully into the next topic. But yeah, it looks like Batman.
I don't actually have Saints Row 4, so I'll have to get that as well.
Oh right, okay. There's me thinking you did.
Are they up to 4 or 5?
Saints
Is
Row
this for? I don't remember what they're up to. Are they up to 5 or 4?
This is 4.
For 4. Yep. Okay. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it says it right there.
one behind
Got it.
GTA.
Yeah.
I'll have to pick it up. Is it next gen or previous console?
Whoa, it's coming over. That's the other thing.
Yeah. PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Windows, Xbox 360, and Xbox Uno.
Ooh, okay. I might have to pick it up then.
Get it. Show your commitment to the cause. Yeah. In the week.
It doesn't look like I'm ever going to buy another computer. I think I'm a console person now.
Although those
They built
Steam
a
boxes,
Steam
though,
machine. They built one for $400, and it handles and works better than a console. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, I was
$400.
I was conscious of bringing this up because I suppose you can't help the news that we talk about, but Jamie, the Ruffle Raptor, started his new podcast. Shout out to Jamie. In the last week, and they covered off a bit of the that Steam box that running better specs, and I suppose footprint wise, it's probably comparable to that of a maybe an Xbox One in terms of size. It looked pretty thick, but
It's a mini PC.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little mini PC.
But better specs and I suppose infinitely, well, not infinitely, but upgradable to a certain extent. And whether or not that sort of stuff could find its way into the lounge room. I mean, this goes back to probably episode 2 or 3 where we started talking about it and whether or not this sort of thing would be a game changer. If not for the living room, which Xbox have well and truly drawn their lines in the sand and saying we want to win the lounge room.
Yeah. And if you wanted to treat it as a console, technically you don't have to upgrade it. You can't upgrade a console. So really, if you don't want to, if you're like, oh, PCs are too expensive because, you constantly have to upgrade the video card, it's like, well, hold on, you don't with a console. So if you buy a Steam box that's cheaper than a console, has more games than a console, and runs better, you don't have to actually upgrade it. It's still the same hardware, You can't upgrade a console. You don't have to upgrade the Steam box and it runs better. So, yeah.
I guess the only issue you run with that is that with a console there's a finite ceiling that you just get better at optimizing for.
That's true, yeah.
Rather than like a Steam box where it's like, are we targeting the people on the upper end of their Steam boxes if there were different sort of versions? I imagine you can get different configurations and stuff straight out of the box. And almost of a build your own kind of variety.
Different processors.
Yeah.
Well,
so
that's the thing. You can always overclock it a little bit as well. Instead of 950 megahertz, you can take it to just over a gigahertz or something like that. If you wanted to increase it after a couple of years.
Yeah. Seems legit.
Well, you know my stance on this, so whatever. Yeah.
I do.
I probably will end up getting another tower. It's just I hate going through the process of building it and choosing all the parts.
That's the best fucking part, you idiot. That is the best part.
You peasant.
No.
I'm the guy that's standing in the store with two things in his hand going,
Ketchup, catsup. Yeah.
ketchup.
And I'm the one that rocks up with like a list and saying, give me one of these, give me one of these, give me one of these, and give me one of these.
No fucking about. I'm here to do business.
Yeah, I know exactly what I want.
Take my money. Yeah, that Saints Row 4 Batman sort of segue. I completed Batman Origins this week.
Oh my god!
100%.
And
that was on sale this weekend for like $7.50 on Amazon. Insane. Sorry.
Origin?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, right. Cool.
And the other ones, the early ones, were $5. Crazy.
Yeah, I bought what have I got here? It's
I fucking love a sale.
Yeah. I bought... Christ, where is it? I'm trying to find it on my desktop. I bought Asylum. Asylum. So I've only played like 5 minutes of that. But this, hopefully, will tide me over until Arkham Knight comes out. I literally, would come home, fire up Origins, and I'd... with the main campaign done, I'm like, right, okay, let's tackle these side missions. And I went through, over the course of the last probably 2 weeks, every side mission, every villain and their individual side missions, completely done, dusted.
Nice.
And I'm like, okay, what next?
What to do now?
And I haven't had that feeling of 100% total completion probably since... Well, I know it's a long time. I can't actually put a finger on what game it might be. Hang on. If I turn around. Nothing on that shelf there is something that I've 100% completely completed. Plenty of campaign completions. But as for side missions and stuff, haven't done everything.
Yeah, there's not many I've gone back and done all of the side stuff on.
Yeah, it says a lot for a game if it can grip you. I mean, I've had Origins for, I think it came out October last year, so just shy of a year, and that's the re-pick up factor to get me back into a game to make me want to do it. And I did get into a bit of a Batman kind of mood that thankfully is just reignited, and I'll go into Asylum completely fresh because I didn't play that on the 360 either, so that is completely fresh to me. But I just thought it was a nice little sort of...
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
I love that. Love it. Don't want to turn into a completionist, but I can see where the bug happens.
Don't. Just start playing World of Warcraft with me and you'll know that you'll never ever get 100%, so you should start doing
Funny you should say that. It was offered to me for free in an email just the other day.
I get those all the time.
You know what though? I get...
I want you to do a 7-day trial. I want you to do a 7-day trial. I want to know what you think about it, because I would
And you
love
have to
to get
videotape
hooked.
all of it.
I think I deleted the email.
Oh, I'll give you an invite. I've got a million of them.
You know what though? I still get images in my head of my ex-housemate. I think I've told the story before where I moved in that night, that day, and he's on the couch, and he was one of the hardcore ones. He's in his late 40s, probably in his 50s by now, and it was the day that I moved in. But I had something on that night, so I'm surrounded by cardboard, and I left the house at like 9:30, went to the city, had a good time, came out 3 a.m. Right, let's get a taxi home. I came home. He hadn't fucking moved. Hey, he'd been there probably from 6 that evening. Made his microwave dinner, scoffed that down.
Yeah.
Right, back into it. More dots, less dots.
Okay, stop dots.
Okay,
Yeah.
stop dots.
That was like, yeah, we would play with people that would leave their front door unlocked. So the pizza guy you'd hear him, because we used to play over Ventrilo, and you'd hear the door knock, and the guy would just go, "Yep, it's open," sort of thing, and the pizza guy would just like come in, deliver the pizza. He wouldn't even fucking get up.
12 seconds is
and
valuable to me.
He's just like, yeah, just like put it there, here, like the money, blah blah blah. Because we'd be like in the middle of a boss fight, like, man, like, we'd be fucking fuming if you'd get up halfway through to order your pizza.
Why did he order the pizza in the middle of a boss fight?
Oh no, he ordered it like online like before, and then it'd come like half an hour later.
But he timed it wrong.
Well, you probably did
He did.
on a smartphone or a tablet or something. He's like, nope,
Yeah.
I'm not alt-tabbing out of this to go to pizzahut.com.au. Fuck that.
Oh, but just like some of the funniest stories, like our tank would like fall asleep like halfway through. We'd be like, Dwarfy, 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 and he'd be like, oh yes, I'm up, because it'd be like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and we'd be playing. Oh man, we'd do raids for like solid, and then tank is like a hard job, so you really got to be alert. So it's like even more exhausting for him, and he would fall asleep, and we just have to like yell over Ventrilo to wake him up, sort of thing. We're like, okay, Dwarfy, this is the last one more. He's like, sort of thing, and then we'd go to sleep, and then the next morning, like Sunday morning or whatever, we'd just like, oh hey, like as if like you'd had like a big night out with everyone, and then you'll like wake up together, sort of thing. Like, oh hey, crazy night last night. That's what it'd be like the next morning, sort of thing. You'd see some people like not on their main characters, but like alt characters, just like leveling somewhere else, yeah, and they'd just be like, oh hey, crazy night last night. It's like, yep, just dinged level 30 and with my alt character and shit like that. Just, oh man, those days were the best.
The vision I get of stuff like that is that episode of The Simpsons where like Homer was sat in front of the TV, in front of like what was the name of that TV that like just spewed out radiation that he's caused a shadow on the back wall?
The radiation box, yeah.
Yeah. And
but did you see the good game, the Barjo special?
I didn't.
Watch that one, because for starters, that one I meant to mention it before because that came out a couple of weeks ago. That was like laugh out loud funny. Like I was laughing out loud. Like that was really funny. But he was a big player as well, and I think he still is a little bit. But he explains it really well, just because back in the day there was nothing like it, really well polished and just really pulled you in, sort of thing. And the way he explained it was really, really good. So you should watch that one. Like the Hex one's good too, because they put that one first, and then I watched the Barjo one, and I was just like laughing out loud because some bits were fucking hilarious. Oh yeah, the Barjo's one was like hilarious, like laugh out loud hilarious.
Cool.
One of the people you follow on Twitter, Gav, Mark Serrels,
yes,
he recently started playing World of Warcraft, and he's been doing little blog pieces about it. So
okay. Yeah.
That's something you can read, see if that's something get your appetite on.
Yeah, the funny thing with that,
That's the thing, like, yeah.
When it was being described to me, it was kind of like you almost needed to be something of a, and then bearing in mind this is how it was described to me, so don't flame. It was like, yeah, you need to have a mathematical head to you. Like it helps if you know your way around calculus or some bullshit. And like, okay.
Not really, no, not really. If I can do it, you don't need to. You just
Well, he must
get
have been
it
talking
after a
himself
while.
up or something.
I mean,
Yeah, because for sure. Because I was a healer in a raid as well, so I needed to like do like mana control, whereas I used to have to heal the tank and the party members as well. But you can't just go out spamming it because you run out of mana. So you really need to conserve it. So you need to do a little bit of math where it's like, okay, I can heal this person, and there'll be like a 5 second gap where they can heal him again. Because if I just go spam, I'm going to run out, and then the raid's going to die. We're going to wipe, and then I'm going to get the fucking blown sort of thing. And that wears very thin quick after you're the main healer, which I was. And then the raid kept on wiping because heals ran out, and you get pretty tired of 40 people or 39 people getting pissed off at you sort of thing. So you figure that out pretty quick. But no, you just get it after a while. You just figure it out. It's really good. Yeah.
The last thing I need
Like
to know
I was going to say,
is
well, that's the thing. You will not play anything else. Even if you have spare time and you don't have time, you'll just hang out in like Ironforge or Stormwind or whatever the equivalent is these days. I haven't played it for ages, but you just go there, hang around, walk around and shit like that, like just doing whatever. But I mean, I played WildStar. I got a trial account for that. And I was like, no more MMOs because they just take up way too much time. And then I was like, someone sent me a key for that. And I was like, okay, I did the beta testing for that. I didn't like it. And I was like, no, that's good. I don't like it. I don't have to buy it. And then it's just playing on me. Huh?
You're like a beaten wife. It's like, no. I won't go back.
Yeah, no. That's the thing.
But then you'll go back anyway.
That's how addicting it is. No, it's like, no, I don't want to do it anymore.
Don't want to be abused.
And then, yeah. And then I was just like, no, I got the key, the WildStar, and I was like, oh, this isn't good. I'm actually quite enjoying this. It's just like an updated World of Warcraft. It looks really nice. The missions are fun. I like the mechanics and everything. And after like day 3 or 4, and I was like, I think I might actually buy this game. And then it kind of hit me. I was like, hold on. No one's fucking playing this game. Like, this is supposed to be an MMO. I'm just like questing by myself. There's no one here. And then all of a sudden I was like, this is boring. Not playing anymore.
So it's an MO.
So I haven't played it since. Exactly. So just soloing everywhere. And it's like, no, I want to play with people, do group quests, interact with them, all that sort of shit. But no, there was not enough people around. So I was like, and that's why I was talking to Cawthorne about it. He's like, no, like I fucking love the game, but no one plays it. No one I know plays it. So I don't play it anymore. And he plays World of Warcraft again now. So I don't want to play that anymore.
That's someone Gav can play with then.
Yeah.
He'll power run you up to level 90, is it? Up to
Mate.
90 now?
We used to fucking love power level people. We're like, yeah, okay, we're going to like, and we do it so fast. We'd get like a group of 5 people, and then we just like boom, 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 and we'd just be like all on vent. We do like a 6-hour, 8-hour stint or whatever, and then we do that, and we're like, okay, let's hop over to like our main characters, and let's go raid for like another 6 hours.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking mental. Oh my god, so fucking stupid.
Well, I mean, just the master of segues as I aspire to be, Bungie reckon you may never finish Destiny.
Wow.
Discuss. Apparently it's that big. I mean, they said that the moon is the
But
smallest
is it
of
all
all.
DLC though?
No, it'll just be like level caps and like attunements and maybe like reputation with people. That's what they'll probably be referring to. But in terms of quests, I can't see there being that much variety. I mean, yeah, there's a shitload of quests in World of Warcraft, but the variety-wise, there's not that many. They're very similar.
Oh, yeah. Some of those.
And the area is so much bigger. Yeah.
I'll quote them directly. They, well, I suppose you can take all this with a grain of salt if it's, just supposed to drive a bit of business. We saw people invest dozens of hours into the beta alone, and that was one destination, which is true. These destinations are stitched together with our new tech so that they are so many different locations to visit. Expansive outdoor locations where you can enjoy just your personal vehicle, indoor dungeon type spaces where you can really pick through the bones of a shattered civilization. He then went on to say, if you're a speedrunner and all you want to do is blaze through and complete one story mission after one story mission, you're really just scratching the surface because the strikes add such a level of complexity. So it seems like the team aspect and these strike missions kind of add a lot of it, or add another dimension to it. And as we said before, there are endless hours of fun in the Crucible until you've kicked every single ass that plays the game you haven't finished. And once you have, someone else just bought their first copy. So fresh meat, Christmas noobs. Everyone loves Christmas noobs. Yeah, I'm actually starting to get excited. Like, a redonks.
Well, you've only got, what, 9 days till it's out?
Yeah,
Is that all it is? Wow.
9 days. We're about to tick over into September in the next hour and 45 minutes.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so...
I'll get it when it comes to PC.
Coming 2017. Yeah. What else was there? Lawnmower Man, done that. Saints Row. Are you guys going to get an iPhone 6 or not?
No.
Your 5's still going
6S, probably. I got the 5S, so there's no point really. So I'll probably check out the 6S when it comes out. But on Oz Bargain this weekend, there's been so many sales for the iPhone 5S. I think through Kogan and all that sort of stuff, where it's been like $550 or $600 sort of thing, and it's kind of like, well, yeah, that's a good price, but really, 6 comes out in like what, a week, a few days, or something like that.
Yeah, the invitation's been sent out apparently.
Yeah, so it's kind of just like there's no point getting a 5S unless you're doing like a massive upgrade, but really you might as well spend a couple of $100 more or whatever and just get the 6 when it comes out. But again, it's all planned obsolescence. You don't know how much better it's going to be. It's going to be like a new shape, maybe a little bit better, not much.
It's going to be big.
But yeah.
Well,
But I mean, it's funny because yeah, I mean, I've got the 5S, but I've also been over the weekend. I've been jailbreaking my 4S, which is like here, and just like the differences between the two, it's just like I can't use this 4S anymore just because it seems so tiny. It's like
I've got huge hands now.
Yeah.
I get like that when I'm using my 3, like the 3G, like the first one of the Australian release.
You were like so fucking hipster with that. You were like so retro. You had like, you were rocking that 3G and then went to like the 5, which is just like
4 models
unheard
later.
of.
I was OG back this one. I don't know, I might have to pull the trigger. Oh, you're a Samsung guy, aren't you?
Yeah, I've got a few Apple products, but mainly most of my stuff is all Samsung.
You're a Galaxy man.
Samsung tablet, Samsung Galaxy Note phones, even though the tablets are basically just the big phone. But
yeah, that term's getting thrown around in the web design community. It's getting thrown around a lot, like phablets and stuff, and trying to, I suppose, develop. It's called responsive design. I might have talked about it before, and how you can get the mobile side of things to look consistent across desktop, mobile, and the sort of and everything in between, so you get the same experience. So it's going to be interesting to see how we can keep that going.
They're exactly the same. It works. Yeah.
But in terms of the HTML, like you have these ranges of what to apply for a certain screen width.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting too much into detail, but yeah. Basically, the website calls what the actual device width is, and then sends that back to the server, and then applies the relevant CSS to form the layout for it. And it does that for everything. It does it for desktop, does it for mobile, tablet, and now phablets.
I would use my phablet a lot more, except for the social awkwardness of pulling it out for a phone call.
There is that. I can't remember what model it is, but I typically tend to see it with like students, like Asian students for some reason. Like it's something that they brought over for like international studies or something. It's just the hugest thing. It's like holding an A3 piece of paper up to their head, or like they're making a call on an iPad or something. Like,
Oh, well,
that-
yeah,
that looks
I
awkward
can
as
do that
fuck.
on my Galaxy tablet. It makes phone calls,
Yeah,
um,
but
which I tried it once and just like caught a glimpse of myself and just like,
you had to go and
charging
reconsider your life for a second. It's like that phone call wasn't as important
I'm
as my
going to
dignity.
wait the half an hour to charge up my phone instead of taking this out with me.
Yeah, let's not worry about that. Your dignity is much more important than making that phone call.
Yeah.
But a friend did have the Samsung Galaxy 5S or whatever it is. I don't use them, so I'm not that up to date with like the lingo. But I used his one, and it was like, wow, this is actually really good because I've had an iPhone for forever, and I mean I like it, but I know like really it's not the best they can do. And like I mentioned, planned obsolescence and that sort of shit. But I used his one, and I was like, this is actually really good. I just kind of wish it was on an Apple platform.
Yeah,
I just don't like changing over and shit like that. I'm just a bit funny with that.
that's it.
But,
They get
you
you
know,
with the whole suite of
you-
products. They get you with that.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I don't even buy songs through iTunes, but that's another thing as well. I mean, everyone's like, oh, iTunes, you know, cheap songs and all that sort of stuff, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, next year I'm going to buy, like, the new Samsung phone. It's like, hold on. All my songs are with iTunes. Like, are those two things compatible? I don't know. But it's like, you know.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
can put iTunes on Android, but it's just really...
Well, they make it intentionally difficult.
No, I know.
kind of
It
what
works
I
exactly
thought,
the same.
yeah.
You just install it. It's just the app.
Oh, that's pretty cool then.
And
You
it
just
works
ruined
exactly
my
the same.
story then.
Oh, burn! Oh, burn! Yeah.
But I mean, if you love iTunes and stuff, the
No one
Samsung
likes
has its own
iTunes.
version. So
No one likes iTunes.
I've
I just
actually
like the
just tried to
Samsung
install my
suite.
Apple TV for the second time. I bought it nearly a year ago, and yet I still haven't installed it because it didn't work out of the box. Didn't connect to my Wi-Fi. So
Yeah, no, just get Western Digital Live, TV Live or whatever. That's what I have. It's
I
fucking
remember you
mad.
saying that a year ago. I was like,
Yeah.
shit. I might just take it back in the box. I bought this last week, even though the receipt says it was from 9 months ago. But yeah.
Yeah, they're only like $100 as well. And I remember when I bought mine, it was $100 from Officeworks.
Yep.
And Western Digital had a $50 cashback. So really, it was $50.
Zing.
do you
Mental. Mental.
do you need an antenna or a Foxtel connection to run those ones?
No, it's just all internet. I just plug it's wireless for starters, if you want wireless, or I just plug, I have it behind me, and I just plug in the little Ethernet cable or the LAN cable in the back, and just,
Oh, okay. I'll have to
I've
look
just got
into
everything. It just doesn't have Twitch, that's the only thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't have Twitch. So that, or I mean,
The
it's
Xbox.
Chromecast. You get Chromecast as
Yeah.
well. Everyone's
walked
fucking
past the
raving
store
about
for
that
that.
as
Yeah,
well.
but you got to pay for Chromecasts. It's a monthly.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You've got to pay for it, whereas Western Digital, no. They got all the live TV channels. Like some of them you've got to pay for because it's like specific things, like the Major
I
League
pay for
Baseball,
the
that sort of stuff.
Chromecast, but no one can tell me if shows and programs are region locked.
Yeah, no.
Because I mean, I've gone to some websites where, oh, check out this. This is what happened. This person said this, and you play the video. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't play this outside the United States.
Yeah.
You're like, ah, thanks.
Well, that's the thing. The Western Digital plays fucking everything you put on a USB.
I might have to check that out.
Yeah, I love
Just
it.
toss
And it's I just use it for the USB port and the YouTube app. So I just add everything to my watch later, hop into bed, and I just watch all my shit to watch later thing, or just chuck in a movie on the USB. That's all I use it for. And I've like used the shit out of it.
I have been using that feature on the Xbox actually, loading stuff up on the, which is good.
Beautiful. Any more topics? Because I'm kind of running short. I don't have much, to be brutally honest.
Talk about what we've been playing this week, because I've been playing a few different things. I've mentioned before, like I love playing Hearthstone, which reminds me, when we go to PAX, okay, I know they have like last year they had a bunch of League of Legends stuff where they gave everyone out codes and things like that, so you could redeem in-game items and things. Do you know if PAX in Melbourne will have anything like that? Because I want like a Hearthstone competition and I want freebies and shit.
I don't know. I'll just interject because I ordered my T-shirts last night. So if you wanted a bit of officialness, I will. I'm happy to order more of them to say there's some sort of officialness, just in case you wanted to.
The QuadFeed one.
Yeah, well, it's got my ugly mug on the front of it. That's got the silhouette.
I was gonna fucking wear a Yogscast t-shirt, so I guess I can't do that now.
Freaking advertising other people. Damn. Just brand
Wear it.
consistency. Ordered one in charcoal, one in white, so I could wear different ones for each day. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the lay of the land is on these sort of things. Whether or not it's purely, it's a bit more developer focused, and people there are, you're talking to people at the coalface of the development behind the game itself, and whether or not you can sort of.
Yeah, it all depends on the companies. If they've allotted some giveaways,
Yeah.
they'll do it. But if they decided, the market's not big enough, it's not worth it.
Even if it
in
got to
Australia,
the point
they're not
where
going to do it.
you had been put on a list to be sent prospective, quote unquote, freebies, or maybe advanced standing for beta keys or something.
Has anyone signed up for the gaming competition or something? What was it? I got an email about it for PAX the other day.
To register. Yeah, they'll draw your name at random, and I'll have a few different games which you will then enter into. I didn't do that because I know I would be shit at it. So no, I didn't do it.
What if it's Hearthstone?
I'd still be shit at it.
Then Amy will come to the fore. She'll just start pushing
Quick,
away from
Amy,
the crowd.
what do I do?
I got this. Don't worry, Ben. I'll win us our flight home back.
Yeah.
Plus some
I
more
should
freebies.
record us having a game or something like that. But last time I played her and I beat her, she got like real angry. She was like, "You could have let me win," sort of thing, and I felt really slack.
And then
that's how it starts.
Did you put all of the games out on the lawn and run over them with a run lawnmower?
Yeah.
You put all her makeup out on the lawn.
Uh,
It's like, this is what you get. You don't get to come into my world and fuck with it. I'm gonna fuck your world up now. You're going to work tomorrow with no makeup on.
It's just so funny because she's like really not a gamer in the slightest. So for her to be like addicted to it, it's just like, funny.
Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, did we get a concrete? I mean, you've got some time off, Chris. I imagine you. What was the reason why you aren't coming?
I am going.
You are going.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Definitely Saturday. I was just checking. I think I might actually be a Sunday ticket. I can't remember. Where I put the ticket.
Got mine.
I'm Sunday only,
Sunday only.
and I'll be getting drunk Saturday and Friday.
Zing.
So you'll be coming down Friday?
Yeah, Friday morning. I fly
cool.
in. Yeah. And I got a place on Lygon Street too, which is like sick.
Oh, so you're staying at Lygon Street. I actually
Yeah.
haven't organised my accommodation.
No, neither,
Just check
neither have we.
Airbnb.
But I mean, so
Just check Airbnb.
yeah.
Yeah.
Soph and Amy will probably get stuck into a bit of shopping on Chapel Street or something, whilst we tear up the town, baby. Well, I see.
So is
I
Lygon
think we decided us three are going to get pissed on Saturday.
is Lygon Street close to the entertainment centre?
No. It's near
So
a
you'll
lot of
be travelling.
It's a tram.
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
20-minute
yeah.
tram ride, I think.
tram or not even, like a tiny cab fare. I'll just be like so full of fucking pizza and pasta and like beer.
Oh, yeah.
Psyched.
Are you
that's good.
staying on
Since I
Lygon
walk in.
Street as well, Gav, or are you staying closer to the entertainment centre?
Originally, I was going to stay closer to the venue, but then sort of...
It's a shit area. There's
Yeah.
nothing to do there. Just stay in the CBD and catch the tram in. There's no point.
Yeah.
It's a shit area.
I think that's
Like
essentially what
industrial.
I came down on the side of. So, I mean, it's closer. I think the way it was explained to me, it was almost like staying in the city rather than staying in Darling Harbour. if you had to stay in Darling Harbour for an event that's there. So I'm like, that's fine. It's like 10-minute walk, 15-minute walk, whatever. I'll just grab a coffee and I'll head down and meet you guys there.
There's nothing wrong with staying in Darling Harbour.
Well, what I can do is I can, I've just tripled my exposure. My goodness. I can order a t-shirt for you guys as well.
Don't bother.
Yogs cast all the way, bitches.
Yeah.
I'm just going to advertise Simon and what's the other one?
Simon and Lewis.
Simon and Lewis. Not even in the same country.
Don't worry, you can give one of the shirts to Amy. She'll wear it instead of Ben.
Yeah.
Well, there are men's and women's available. I'd need to know what I'm ordering because the cut's a bit different. That's it. Oh yeah, no, I'm really pumped for that. I've actually been offering my services to other people, creating EPS files for them to do the same. So,
what's the EPS file? What's that shit? What's that?
It's an encapsulated
Electronic
PostScript file. It's a file format which printers ask for outside of like JPEGs and bitmaps and stuff like that. It's a vector file basically, so it enables them to upscale without losing quality.
Oh yeah, like a PNG file.
Well, PNG's it's another file format, but like as far as it's not pixel based, it's vector based. So
yeah,
they can scale it up, whack it on a t-shirt, and it's bing, supremo quality.
So every time I blow up a picture and it goes all stretched or blurry, that's what it is.
That's right. That's it. Because the pixels are trying to do their best to go, okay, I think there's a pixel that needs to be there in this shade. And obviously that's going to lead to degradation.
Nice.
There you go. It's kind of like a Marge Simpson t-shirt where it gets smudged. But they'll give you half price off. No, but I've already... I mean, I might actually...
Say best holiday ever.
Best holiday ever. I might actually put a screenshot. So if you're looking at in the post edit, if you see this face or this logo, actually, yeah, that's probably more of an accurate. If you see that logo walking around, say hi.
And will we make Ron wear one, even though he's not there, and people can find him in Sydney?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, if he's not wearing one at his local pub that he's at, both Saturday and Sunday night, Friday, Saturday night, and Sunday night. If past history is anything to go by, then yeah. I'll get him to send a selfie.
And if you see Yogg's cast one, make sure you come up and say hi to me too.
Don't, because he won't have any freebies for you. He won't have any freebies. I might have maybe a copy of Titanfall in my back pocket that I might decide to give to a lucky person.
Nothing like an out-of-date game.
Yeah, I still have that game actually. It's still wrapped in plastic.
I know. We should have given that away a long time ago.
Yeah. Damn it. Not for any monetary gain, obviously, because
but what else have we played? So just quickly,
Yes.
I've been playing Hearthstone. They released the final wing of the Nax Ramas, which was really good. So the last two bosses you could play. So I finished that. That was a lot of fun. And then now I'm starting to do like tournament play, like ranked play again, which is also really good. I really like the daily quests with that and getting cash monies and buying decks and stuff. So that's good. I was also playing Lichtom Battle Mage, which I didn't like. That was kind of like, there was a pre-alpha on the Steam marketplace where it's like you just play as like a mage and you just casting spells like everyone, and the video clips looked really good, but I was a bit bored. I didn't really like it. It didn't really capture me that much, so I don't really like that. I might try it again later. I also was playing the Crew Beta because that started again. Tell me what
you thought of that, because I got back to the table after dinner today and I'm like, right, 7:20, probably could research some more topics for tonight, or I could try and get stuck into the crew to see if I had anything to lend to it, but
it's locked at like 30 frames at the moment, which is not really good for a car racing game because it's just, you know, a lot of movement on the screen, but it just kind of can't keep up.
Yep.
So if you go to like one of the config files, you just change it from 30 to 60, which makes it look a lot better. But the car just like is swerving like all over the road sort of thing, and it's like you can't really control the car. So I changed it back to 30 and started playing it again, but it's good, but like, again, it doesn't really like pull you in. It doesn't capture you that much, sort of thing. So, like, you know, it's good that they're trying to put like a storyline with it and like missions or whatever, or quests. I kind of don't like the upgrade system of the car. I kind of like it where you get money from winning races, and then you get to choose which individual you know, upgrades you want to do. So there's like a lot of micromanagement. I like that. Whereas this is just like you win the race. Yeah, you win the race, and if you get gold, you get this part. If you get silver, you get this part. And if you get bronze, you get this part. And
So
then
it's like,
in the menu...
Need for Speed Most Wanted.
I don't think I played that, but yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's kind of like...
Exactly
yeah.
like what that was.
Yeah. And then it's kind of like, oh, yeah, you've won this part. Do you want to fit it right here and now? And you go like, yes, and bang, it just fits to your car. It's like, oh, I kind of like going back to the garage and seeing pound for pound, like the best sort of like bang for buck sort of thing to buy with my money. And again, like the micromanaging of like, well, this costs this amount of money, but, you know, you get this amount of performance, so I'll spend the extra for better performance, blah, blah, blah. All that sort of shit. So I like doing that, but this doesn't really have that. So that was a bit annoying.
So it's less simulation, more arcade, just, you know.
Arcadey, yeah, which is annoying because the map is really good in terms of like it's really big. The handling of the cars is just like it's shit. There's just like it's kind of like Watch Dogs. You know when you get in the car.
Yeah, that was difficult to try and take it hold of.
Shit, it was just like, yeah, it was just like, what is there? There's like no feeling with these cars. That's what it was like with these ones too. So yeah, you know, if it puts you in that place as a gamer where, you know, you have all the feeling of the car, you actually have money like a real person, and you get to spend the money on what you want, you know, and you're doing like these long distance drivings between cities. Yeah, if you want like put like a massive turbo on a car, but like not upgrade the brakes. Yeah, huge turbo lag, and you know you got tiny like milk bottle brakes, disc brakes on your car as well. You know, if you want to do that, yeah, you can do that. In this, from what I could tell, you can't do that. And I was like, I got no control. I don't really like this. So I'll check it out. I'll see what people are saying when it comes out. But yeah, it was a bit boring.
Yeah, that's a bit of a letdown actually hearing that. So it would be really good if you could.
But I see, yeah, and I think I'm really hard to
changes.
please as well. Yeah, I'm really picky when it comes to games.
Unlike the first Gran Turismo, where you could even go into changing the gear ratios and the
gear ratios, toe in, toe out, camber, damper, all that sort of stuff.
Rebound
from, like,
rates.
PlayStation.
That does get into more of a
PlayStation
Gran
1.
Turismo side of it,
PlayStation 1. You could change all of that. Oh my god, that camera was so
I used to have the biggest battles like that. Everyone would choose the same car, and you have a week, and then you meet up again a week later, and you all race with the same car and see who's the better tuner.
Yeah, and it's mad just starting off with a fucking POS like Supra, because you're like, what's the cheapest turbo car I can get? Because you're young and you're like, it's got to be a turbo car. So I think you get like this Supra, which is like...
GDI.
Yeah, you get the Golf GTI. You can either get like the Mazda MX-5, which in hindsight is a much better car. But I'm like, no, I need like a turbo, and it's a Toyota Supra, and it's like the real old one, and it's like 2 tons or something. And it was the biggest piece of shit, but I'm like, it's got the little turbo spool meter, and you can see like on the tacho. So I was like, this car's the tits sort of thing. So like, I love that. And then you get like the WRX, which was mad. But that game, yeah, it was just like so ahead of its time. Just like, why can't games be like that now?
1.3 litre Toyota Stanza, which was the Starlet. I think you just bolt a turbo to that thing, and then you just like have turbo lag from like 0 to like 8,000 revs, and then all of a sudden just bang, just take off.
And there's the joke as well, like the Demio A-Spec, because like the Demio A-Spec was the car you just win like all the time. Like when you win like money for like a competition, you're like, oh, I'm going to get a car now too. And it's like the big reveal is like, oh, Demio A spec. So an old Gran Turismo joke is just like
races that I would have.
Yeah, the Demio A spec.
Demio A spec to race. And I actually got quite competitive with those little cars, more than the big dollar cars. And it was really a lot of fun getting these little 1 litre turbos to do the best time in the quarter mile or the best top speed. And
the charades used to be 1 litre.
Mm-hmm.
Daihatsu charades used to be a 3-cylinder 1 litre.
Yeah.
And Chris, there was that time as well where we got the Porsche. I think it was like the Porsche 4S or something like that. I think this was in Gran Turismo 3 or 2. And we spent
I used it as a rally car.
Well, we did that. And we also spent like a couple of hours tuning it. And we got this thing to go like 450 kilometers an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Which was just like, I think that's like almost like half the speed of sound.
Yeah.
Which is just
breaking windows left as you drive along through neighborhoods.
So yeah, we had a lot. Like it didn't turn, but who cares?
That was the Pikes Peak.
That was well, yeah, you get the Suzuki Scudo Pikes Peak as well, which was like the cheap car because you could change when you buy it, it was like detuned. So you go to the settings and you change like the power limit from like 50% to like 100%, and you would just like, if there were updates for games back in the day, that would have been nerfed like hardcore.
Oh, for sure.
But that was back in the day where they couldn't.
Would have handled like a shopping
that car
trolley.
was the best.
Yeah.
No, it handled mad. That was the thing. It was like
no,
the best
as in, like, if they nerfed it,
like
they would make it handle like a shopping trolley.
Well, they did. The next version, it was there, and everyone was like, "Sweet, the Scudo Pikes Peak, everyone get that car," and it was like a piece of shit. It was like it wouldn't handle and all that sort of stuff. So I was like, okay, they've obviously fixed it.
Quarter mile monster, but don't like corners. What are you playing, Chris, these days?
I've been playing Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls. Even though I hated Diablo 3, I always loved that game, so I had to buy it again, play it again.
Are you playing it on Xbox or PC?
Yeah, I'm playing it on Xbox. I'm actually having a lot more fun using the controller than the mouse click in Diablo 3. It seems like it was actually made a bit for a console. Boom. Except for all the
mic drop.
Inventory is terrible with a console. You just can't highlight anything. You're just like, okay, whatever. So you're missing all of those details, but the gameplay is pretty good. I finished it in a couple of days, but it's a lot more fun on the console.
I was going to say, yeah, you sound like you were, I think, was it last week when you were whipping through, you were saying to Santa Crow how like you're whipping through it pretty aggressively and one character was pretty OP?
Yeah, the new character that came out with Reaper of Souls is the Crusader, and it was just smashing everything. It's just not taking damage as it should. It's just, if you know a couple of tricks, like what he was saying, his wife and his friend, with the crafting and leveling up your character, you can get little bonuses. You play on your character's strength with the gems, and you get multipliers to your attack or defense. And if you play around with that a little bit, it just all of a sudden you've got 130,000 defense, and you're doing 20,000 hits, 20,000 damage on a halfway through the game, and you're just one hitting everything.
Everything, yeah, that was good.
When you put the certain fight, and
that sounded cool, but I had no idea what you're on about.
Because there were certain gems which I remember I did when I played it on PC that you could just combo up sort of thing, and it would just like decimate people. And I was just like, wow.
And with that Crusader character, it was just a bit magnified, where halfway through the game I realized I can kind of walk around at the moment and not get damaged.
Seems legit. What have I been playing?
And what about our Counter-Strike?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see this footage.
All right, so picked up last week Counter-Strike and
Global Offensive.
Global Offensive. CS:GO, and in what can only be described as an unmitigated disaster, we didn't actually play any ranked games, though, did we? We were playing against bots.
No, we didn't. Yeah, we started our own server because we're having a bit of difficulty. We're trying to do ranked, but I could join it, but Gav couldn't. It just didn't work. It was just freezing for some reason. So we're just trying different things.
Yeah.
And then I was getting you to host it, like a public match, which we would then join. And then it'd be just us two and bots. And I was like, okay, it's just bots, but at least you'll get like the hang of it, because the bots can be quite tough sometimes. Yeah. And then all of a sudden a bunch of people started joining our game, and then it was just like no more bots and it was just players. And then we just got fucked over. At first we were going all right. Like I won the first round, which is like sick, and actually got like the Winter Assault case sort of thing, which I got to open to see what gun I got. So I won that, so that was really good. There was a few people there. But then the next round, it was all other players, and it was some mode. I don't know what it was, but we just got like fucking decimated. We just like completely handed to us. More you than me, but I still got my ass handed to me. But
yeah, I mean, I was dealing with the learning curve, obviously. And
yeah, he'd never played it before. It's
and even if
so.
I, had some sort of sense of, map knowledge, or I suppose just the tricks of the trade and going about, I mean, I probably wasn't actually shopping the best either at the beginning. Like that was just completely foreign to me. I thought, you just had a loadout and, that's what you get until you change loadouts kind of thing.
No, it's all to do if you start losing, you can't buy the more powerful guns. You can't afford it.
Which is
you
strange.
Can't afford body armor.
You're want to try and level the playing field. I don't know. So, yeah, I mean...
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, just stamp on the little guy. The... yeah, it was okay. I mean, I just need more time. I just need more play time in it, just to get to the point where I think I might, give it a bit more of my time. But I did have to, I mean, as soon as we kind of finished, I did have to kind of reacclimatize myself and just jump into a quick game of Ghosts, even though I feel dirty for even doing that. It's kind of like, God. Oh God, I'll just go back to my ex-girlfriend for a while.
So in the footage, can we see Ben acclimatizing you to Counter-Strike by just doing one-on-one and AWPing you in the head?
That's what I said we do. I said, oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, okay, first round we do just 1v1 sort of thing, just so, you can actually just get used to the controls and things like that. And I think that's when we started. We thought we were going to be doing that, and then when the game started, there was just a bunch of bots there. So we're like, okay, well, we'll just continue on with this. And then I raped you. Again, You'd never ever played it before. It's completely different to what you're used to. Well, I hadn't played it in ages either, but...
The thing I was having the biggest issue with was the spawns. And I'm like... I couldn't believe where some of these people were spawning from. Like literally anal spawning at, like, take one step forward and they'd be semi-transparent obviously because they just spawned, and then either through whatever equipment they're using at their end, be it a gaming mouse or just ridiculously quickfire reflexes or whatever, I was going down like in a heartbeat. And I should have turned my microphone up a bit more because I couldn't actually hear myself a whole lot. Actually, you hear Ben more on the recording than you do me, because I'm just like, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah.
Not having fun anymore.
But that was a certain mode that we were playing where it was just constant respawns, where usually it's like 5 versus 5 or whatever, and then when you die, you just wait and you wait for the round to finish, and then when either team wins, the round starts all over again. That's what it usually is, where you're like planting a bomb or whatever. But this certain mode that we were playing was just like constant respawning, and it was just like whoever had the highest points at the end. So that was an odd one. So you just spawn literally in front of someone. So as they were running, bang, you'd spawn in front of them, and before like your screen even loaded, you were dead. And I was just like,
So
this is bullshit.
that's Search and Destroy in Call of Duty, a game mode which I've spent, again, next to no time at all in playing that as well. So I guess maybe to cut my teeth on that, maybe I should play a bit of Search and Destroy on Call of Duty. But even then, there's a science to that as well. People running around ninja diffusing you and all manner of stuff. So I'm like, oh, God. I'm damned if I do. So we shall see. I don't know. I'll probably give it some more time, and I'll give you a call. Ben,
Yeah.
come help
Let's
me.
play.
I'm dying.
Well, that's the thing. I was just leaving uni, and I sent you a text, and I was like, "CS:GO tonight. Let's do this," sort of thing. And yeah, but I hadn't played it in ages. But yeah, I'd probably prefer to play Titanfall or something like that.
That's it. Just give me a fading chance just to get kills on the board. It was typically towards the end where I was actually starting to get my eye on, and I'm like, okay, I can control the recoil on this assault rifle now. But
it's just like utterly frustrating at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't like posting negative gameplay.
Yeah.
Or mildly positive gameplay. It's I shall try. But that said, though, I am looking at a library of games that I've invested, zero time in as well. Haven't played much of Hawken, Tomb Raider. I actually I've gone probably a few hours deep on Tomb Raider. Oh God, Castlevania. The amount of fuss I made about Castlevania, and I'm pretty much only 2 hours deep into that as well. God, where's the time go? I need more time. Are we just about done then? I think we're probably approaching 2 hours.
I think so. I don't think there's anything else nothing else I've been playing or been super interesting.
I don't. Without going into specific details on these articles and stuff, Mortal Kombat at PAX Prime, looking forward to that. Yeah, not a whole lot. Swatting, done that. Lawnmower Man. There was a topic called, and I think Boogie covered it. There was a journalist saying that, asking whether or not gamers are a dying breed, but I don't know enough about that to kind of comment on or to expand on that, unfortunately. Mind you, it's not time sensitive, so maybe it's something we'll address next week. All right, cool.
Sounds good.
All right, sounds like we're done then. Cool. Well, that was QuadFeed 35. Thanks for watching. Thanks for enjoying. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, and don't forget to head over to iTunes and subscribe there, and that way you can keep up to date on these if you're on the move, which if you've got an iPhone 5, or if you're like Chris and you've got a Samsung, you can stay up to date there as well. We're also on Stitcher Radio as well, so give us a look there. Thank you to the Benster.
Thank you very much.
Have a good week, mate. Hope you're feeling better.
Yes, Piss Ass is on its way out. That's the worst term, isn't it? But that's
Isn't
what
it?
was.
It's terrible.
Okay.
Tap ass as well.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, like a fucking faucet.
Let's sign off with a bang. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Hopefully we weren't too noisy for your house guest.
No, it was all good.
You had your
Thank you for
Richard Mercer
keeping it down.
Mix 106.5 voice on. Love song dedications. Cool.
Dedication.
Dedications. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.